Before we jump in, a little deeper into the lighting, this is another thing. The coral needs to be healthy. Like I'm going to say this so many freaking times. It's going to make the listeners are patient. I think it's going to make them annoyed. You can't just plop a coral that's been stressed for a long time, like you mentioned with pests and parasites. You can take, here's a great example. I picked up a colony of fox flame at a local store. It's been sitting in a corner waiting for me to pick it up off this giant rock since Black Friday, right? It's been fine. It's been, kind of growing, but it's brown, and it just, it's not in the best peak form. It's not unhealthy, but it's not in peak form. I have it in great light. I have it in great flow, great nutrients, great mineral balance, all the traces, everything you could think of. It's going to take months. It's literally going to take months for that coral to wake up and start blooming, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a few things about health. You need a healthy environment, but you also need a healthy coral. You can take any acro that's got some red bugs or flatworms, or God forbid both. God, I feel for anyone who might have both right now. That sucks. You can put those in perfect conditions. 2 to 3 months later, nothing will change. Right. Because like you said, they're diverting their energy towards, fighting off this infection and healing tissue that's been eaten and, managing those other belly. So you can still have apophysis. And this is the thing about acrofrags. Like, when you get a really healthy frag from somebody. We're talking about mostly acros. I think a lot of what we're talking about is going to pertain more towards SPS, but it all trickles down to every kind of coral, right? So once again, you could have, an unhealthy coral in a nearly flawless environment, and it ain't going to color up. I have countless examples of acros that stagnated. You're surrounded by corals, and not even just acros, like flower pots and bird's nest, and I'm just literally looking around, and you feel is like they could be surrounded by thriving, healthy corals. Maybe that one coral's not healthy. Yeah. So I think this is something that newbies and even intermediate aquarists and even veterans need to be reminded of. Like, if you have 100 corals, they're not going to be all on the same plane of vitality. They're not all going to be thriving, right? And so that's a message for some of the newer reefers. There's some coral that just ain't happy. And I'll tell you what, some of my stalled out corals, they might sit there for 2 years until finally they just build up enough reserve to kind of overcome whatever it is.